I was in America recently, and it's incredible. They know nothing about us. They're not interested in us in any way. And I was chatting to these guys in a bar, and they were hunters, and they had guns, but they weren't stupid. You were chatting to them a bit. Then one of them said to me, "What sort of animals you got?" Right. And I went blank, actually. I forgot. I went, we got foxes, pigeons. And this guy said to me, he went, "You got lions?" And he was being serious. He was being genuinely serious. "You got lions there?" And because he had a gun, I couldn't laugh in his face. So I went, yeah, we do, yeah. Well, we've got a couple of dinosaurs, actually. We've still got dinosaurs. Griffins, yeah.
The reason we cover the American election for so long, though, is because it's fun to let them pretend they're still a superpower and that we care. Because China have had an election this week as well, and it happened for about 2 minutes. The really powerful people went, "Who should we have next?" And they went, "That guy." Yeah. "Should we ask anyone else?" "Nah, f*** him."
You know, someone asked me today at the train station if I was Louis Walsh.
What?
Someone asked you if you were Louis Walsh?
Twice.
What were you doing?
I was just standing with my bags and she said, "Excuse me, you Louis Walsh?"
Were you talking to the train driver going, "I love the way you're driving that train"?
You've really made it your own.
Yes, that train, it's amazing.
You really took me on a journey. Fair enough, on the train. OK. John's team, what do you think people have been talking about over the last week?
What's happening in the world? Let me look this way when I ask. Just looked right into your eyes then, and I was terrified. Well, in this country, fascinatingly, one of our MPs, Nadine Dorries, has decided the best way she can get ahead as a politician is to go into the jungle
And eat kangaroo testicles.
She's decided to enter I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and not spotted that she's an MP, and it's not called I'm an MP, I should probably do some work. Since taxpayers pay me to do my work. So she's gone out there. I've already seen enough of her. It hasn't even started. I've already seen pictures of her sunbathing in the nude. And her breasts are actually a very good analogy for the coalition, because they appear to be a partnership, and yet they're putting as much distance between themselves.
Can we get a saucer of milk in here for
Yeah.
They call her Mad Nad. That's what they call her, Mad Nad.
I've got one of those.
You left one, right?
Yeah, it makes me do bad things.
She's not really a politician. And she's an idiot as well. In her interview on her way in, they said, "Are you anything you're afraid of?" And she went, "Well, yeah, rats." Like, don't be a dick. Now there's going to be rats. If I was going in there, I'd go, "I'm scared of beer." If I see a can of beer, I freak out. And beds and chocolate and crisps. Sky Sports. Oh, I'd be sick just listing it.
She said, "I'm doing the show because 16 million people watch it, and I think MPs should be going where people go." What, the Outback?
But she said one of the reasons she wants to do it is she wants to discuss and communicate her views on abortion. And I think that's just what ITV have got in mind, isn't it? Primetime TV is a serious discussion about abortion with Eric Bristow and a shit Doctor Who going, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." Yeah. It's not the kind of TV that ITV have got in mind, and they'll edit all that out and they'll just have her with, like, a kangaroo's bollock hanging outside.
Would you do it, Lewis?
No way. I hate spiders. I hate moths.
Moths?
Moths.
It's just a black and white off you now. You hate moths? It's just a black and white butterfly.
I got home the other day, right, and I saw this massive moth, right, in my bathroom.
You saw a moth in your bathroom?
Yeah,
right?
I needed to have a shower and I was too scared to go in. So what I did is I went in with this
You're too scared?
I went into the bathroom, right, with this super strong hairspray.
What?
Seriously.
And you did the moth's hair?
No. I sprayed this moth, shut the door, waited for a minute, saw it on the floor, sprayed it, and then literally crucified it like it was just stuck.
Poor moth is there. He's blind.
He ain't blind. Is he blind?
Yes, now you feel bad, don't you? Basically, you've gone up to a blind person and just hairspray in their face.
Imagine right at that moment some sort of electricity disaster happened and you were turned into Mothman. It'd be terrifying. You could both fly and, like, flip and roll. Then you'd go into the jungle and you would tear that game apart.
Carol, would you ever go into the jungle? What would it take?
No, I won't go into the
Do you
jungle.
get offered it every year?
Yeah.
Every
Shall I
year
tell
they
you how
call.
much they offered me
Yeah,
this
yeah,
year?
yeah. Go on. This is
£250,000.
£250,000, and you went, no, I'm not doing it. Not worth it.
Can I go
I'll
dressed
go
as
tomorrow.
I think it was 250,000. I'm not very good with numbers.
25.
Was in the hundreds.
Even if it's 25, I'd eat the whole kangaroo. I'd start at its feet. I'd just eat. I'd eat its fur, its face. I'd eat the whole kangaroo.
I'd let the kangaroo eat my balls!
Best way to make an ex jealous. What do you think?
I'd say going on Strictly.
Going on Strictly is the best way to get back at an ex.
Well, no,
if
not
you're-
getting back, but obviously making me jealous because I don't want to see your face anymore, but you're on there every week.
Yeah, but you are wearing a lot of glitter.
But making it look masculine.
Of course you are.
I think being able to fit into their clothes, that makes them jealous. Look, I can get into your clothes. Turn up, waddling in one of their dresses, go, look, it fits me better than it fits you! I can look better than you in this dress!
It's jealous, not terrified.
Drive by their house in your new golden van. I got a van made of gold.
Tony, for the last time, you've got a yellow car.
It's a golden van, man.
Do any of you stay in touch with your exes? Not a question for you, John, obviously.
Can I just ask,
Go on, ask.
what happened with his ex? John's, yeah.
She didn't exist. She never existed. Became a bit of a problem because she wasn't there and he was buying her things and she was just air. Eventually, he got quite cross with her for not really having a body.
So he finished with her?
Yes, he went like this.
I think she dumped him. What about you? Do you keep in touch with any of your exes?
Nah.
Do they meet up and have like a support group? Or...
Have you ever got the mistake text, but like the deliberate on purpose one, where you send one deliberately to your ex, but you've constructed it so it looks like it's to someone else? So you've gone, thanks for such a great night. Oh, I'm so glad I'm so happy and slim and beautiful. See you soon, sexy boy. Alice.
Have you genuinely done that?
I read about it.
You read about it in your sent text? Well, another one on the list is change your relationship status on Facebook.
Oh, what a world.
But this last year, the games market in the UK was worth £1.92 billion.
Queued up overnight, like
For 4 days, they queued.
4 days. Camping out. Would you ever camp out for 4 days for a
What,
computer
for the game?
Yeah.
What would you camp out 4 days for?
Brain trainer. New edition. I'd camp out for 4 days if I was going camping.
I read a sentence like, oh, the great thing about this game is you can live stream multiplayer games in real time to YouTube. It took me longer to understand that sentence than it will for them to complete the whole game. What it basically implies is that you could watch other people playing a computer game online. People are actually going to log on and go, what are you doing? I'm watching a Peruvian kid play a Russian kid at a shooting game. I'm leaving you.
Well, the funny thing, it's also got Nazi zombies in it, apparently.
It's got Nazi zombies?
Yeah, so, and I'm not sure where they come in, how they come in. I mean, if something's risen from the grave and is about to eat my brain, I don't really care about their ideology.
I was playing a Japanese gentleman at FIFA, and he didn't speak any English throughout the whole contest. It was me versus him. He beat me 9-0. 9-0. And all the way through, he's talking Japanese. And at the end, when I said, well, thank you very much, I got a well and truly deserved spanking. And he just said, hey, Mr. English, fuck you!
Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Wow. Yes, the new Call of Duty computer game has been released. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is the most exciting, futuristic, slick, engrossing, brutal, Hollywood-produced reason you're still a virgin at 30 ever. Most British people judge others by their accent. True or false? What do you think, Henning? Do you think people judge you? Because you've got a bit of an accent, haven't you?
I've got a bit of an accent. Definitely, there is a certain degree of judgment. I recently did a gig up in Bolton, and I got heckled with that wonderful line, "Fuck off back to London." 10 years of listening to Chaz and Dave finally paid off.
Sean, what do you think? Do you think British people judge others on their accent?
Oh, well, I judge people long before they've opened their mouths. So...
Saves a lot of time, doesn't it?
Straight in there.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because, yeah, everyone, you know, there's a sort of, what's the word? A contingency in your voice, and it moves around, and you can change certain things. But the only really way you know how someone speaks is when they sneeze, and that's the true voice. You can't put on a sneeze. I was walking down the street, and I lived in East London, and there was this old Cockney walking along in front of me, like this. And then he was building up to a sneeze, and he actually went, hey. And he went, hey, choo! I thought, that's a Cockney sneeze. You couldn't put that up.
No, you couldn't. That's a natural noise.
My wife does a terrible thing. She doesn't give you any warning. She just goes, choo!
There's no...
Nothing, no warning. Just sitting there, choo! Oh, shit! They've been shot.
Johnny, do you think anyone ever judges you by your accent?
Yeah, of course you do.
It's not your accent, Johnny. It's the you talk.
I know that I'm judged by my accent because there's certain letters, there's certain vowels that I miss out.
There's whole words you miss.
Yeah, like, sorry, Jimmy, when I run over you later.
John, 81% of people admit changing their voice depending on who they're talking to. Do you do that? You change your accent?
No, James. I acquire accents quite quickly. And if I do gigs, if I go to a town, I instantly start thinking in the voice of where I am.
Does that not sound like you're taking the piss, though?
Exactly. If I've been doing gigs in Newcastle and you sort of go to a club after and you go, oh, cheers, mate, and you say, oh, fuck. You get the shit kicked out of me.
I'm no good at accents, but I can do them if I've got key phrases. So if I'm trying to do Scouse, if I'm trying to do a Liverpool accent, I have to say, I want some chicken and a can of Coke.
Hey, that's not bad, that.
Before I can start. And I can do Belfast, but only if I say, Ginger and Community. All right, so what do you think? Let's get some answers on this. Most Brits judge people by their accent. True or false? What do you think, Sean?
True.
You're going to go true? What are you going to say, John?
True.
I can tell you the answer is false. Only 25% of Brits say they judge people by their accents.
Rubbish.
Over generations, our accents become hardwired into our brains. For example, Chinese people find it difficult to pronounce R's, Germans struggle with W's, and girls from Essex find it almost impossible to say no. What do you prefer, home cooking or fancy restaurants?
It's got to be home cooking.
It's got to be home
It's got to be
cooking?
home cooking, otherwise I'm out of a job.
How many of the recipes that you've cooked on telly do you think people have done at home?
What are you saying?
I watch your shows, but I don't bake muffins. That's all I'm saying.
I've done one of
Hello.
these.
No, look.
I'm bleeping, innit?
Lots of people cook. He cooks my recipes. I cook my recipes.
Yeah. I've made recipes.
What does that
And
say?
they're lovely.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think it's about fancy restaurants anymore, is it? People don't really like fancy restaurants. They want some, like, nice home cooking or just like a steakhouse or something.
OK, well, John, how do you cook at home? How do you prepare a meal?
Oh, you spend your afternoon with a little bottle of wine doing your prep, don't you? You get it all in your little bowls and your jars.
Do you really? You spend the whole day cooking it?
Absolutely. And don't have people around either, they'll ruin it.
Pesto. I make the best pesto going. I should have it in jars in restaurants.
No, he was very proud. He told me about this pesto he cooked and he's very proud of his pesto.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to make pesto, he'll end up with a massive company.
Some people call a fancy restaurant the difference. For some people, like, you know, who eat at KFC, going to Nando's is like, ooh. Nando's is basically KFC for people who can use a knife and fork, isn't it?
Worst thing about guests staying overnight?
The other thing is when you stay at someone's house and they don't tell you straight away what the weird things about their house are. Just say, you cannot flush the toilet unless you stand on that floorboard and sing Oklahoma. Because otherwise you're in there at 3 o'clock in the morning still trying, and you know they can hear you. They heard you the first time when it didn't quite flush. They didn't come out, they just left you in there all night, pulling the thing, and I had to wait a little bit longer, but now it's empty again. I've got to stand in here for 20 more frigging minutes trying to flush this piss away when I had an half-an-hour debate whether it was ruder to leave the piss in but not wake them up with a flush, and now I've pulled the flush. You asked the fucking question.
Because you're quite fastidious. I imagine you don't like people using your stuff.
I don't mind them when I give them stuff. Don't help yourself to stuff. I mean, make yourself at home, that's a cliche, isn't it? You say it, but you don't mean it. Like, if you say make yourself at home and someone starts making themselves a cup of tea, you think, well, what are you doing? Get out of my cupboards. That's not where the tea's kept. Right, I'll make you a cup of tea. When I said make yourself at home, I meant sit down and shut up. If you mean by what have people been talking about, do you mean what forums have been going crazy about? Disney have only bought Lucasfilm, and that means something to some people. Fortunately, those people don't leave the house, so if you don't go online, it really doesn't affect you. It's peak heroin, Star Wars. That's all it is. They just prolong it because nerds are just like, I just need it. I just need one more space film where someone gets zapped. Oh, shit.
Were you a fan of the Star Wars franchise?
No.
No?
Well, the original ones, the good ones, yeah, the ones with the story and the good dialogue and stuff.
The good one, the ones when we were a kid watching a kids' movie,
those ones,
were good.
Yeah.
When we grew up and watched a kids' movie,
But the ones
it was
that
rubbish.
were made just to sell the toys, no.
Yeah, well, they're all basically toy adverts, but they're bloody good ones.
You know, people say I've never seen Star Wars. I wouldn't say I've never seen them, but I've just never watched them. They've been on, and I've just gone, I don't actually watch it.
You never really
I
paid
understand
attention.
that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad.
Spoiler alert.
But he wasn't around when he was growing up, and that's why he dresses like that now, because he's in Fathers for Justice. He's trying to see his son.
Do you know what else is weird, though? Like, when they make prequels and the weapons that they have in the prequels are better than the ones that they have later. That's just really weird.
Mm. Are you not excited by this?
Well, the only danger is that Lucasfilm own the rights to Labyrinth. And if they remake Labyrinth and ruin it, by which I mean don't cast me in every role, there will be deaths. Not the rapper, Labyrinth.
No.
He's a douche, right? Is he?
He's more of a singer, but he's all right.
Oh, is he? Is he not a rapper?
I'm on TV, he's lovely, yeah.
Oh.
You could start a proper rapper war.
I could do that. I could start a war. I could do it more directly.
Go on then.
Just look down the lens and say, oi, rappers, suck my balls. Except you don't have to suck my balls.
I'm more of a singer anyway.
You're a singer.
So
What's a rapper then?
Rapper's just,
What's a rapper? What's a rapper then?
He's in his cardigan there. He's in a mug of chicken.
I feel I need to know.
Tell me about this rapping.
And when does a rap become a song?
Are you serious?
It's sort of.
Do you know the difference between Jay-Z and Beyonce and what they do?
I know the difference enough
one's
to
a
know.
mummy and one's a daddy.
This is
So
awful.
if I say, like, I went to the shop and got some chips.
You can't get chips from a shop.
Isn't it supposed to rhyme anyway? Chips and shop don't rhyme.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's only the first
Go on,
line.
get the next line out, go on. Go on, you went to the shop and bought some chips.
Yeah, then I got some ketchup and other dips.
Would you ever concede whether Star Wars is one of the most talked about things this week?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Disney has bought Lucasfilm and the Star Wars franchise for £2.5 billion. If you haven't seen any of the more recent Star Wars films, I don't want to ruin them for you, that's George Lucas's job. Most people would describe themselves as a risk-taker. True or false?
Well, come to the right guy here.
Loosen your cardie. Tell us what you think. Are you a risk-taker?
I mean, this cardie was a risk. Green with grey. I did it. I don't know. Do you take... Risks are bad, aren't they?
I got on Ryanair this summer. I'm not doing that again.
I don't understand why you have things like flight mode on mobile phones on planes. Just turn it off. It's 2 hours of your life. Just don't take the risk.
What risk? There's no risk. I leave it on.
When they say to switch it to flight mode and the person next to me puts it to flight mode, I think, you prick. What is the point of the risk? You could kill everyone on this plane just because you accidentally flicked it off flight mode and the whole plane exploded.
Well, John, when I get on a plane, I don't even turn my chainsaw off.
Holly, you've taken a risk, didn't you? You jumped off something, didn't
Yeah, I
you?
jumped off a 40-foot pier and I broke my arm, so I'm a risk taker.
Why did you jump off the pier?
Because I was asked to do it.
So who asked you to do it? Why did you?
Well, it was part of this Worthing Birdman where you have to go and try and build yourself some sort of homemade aircraft with which to fly off a... I mean, that's two words that should never go together. Like homemade and condom, that should never go together.
Cling film.
Cling film. I'd say a Snickers wrapper, but anyway.
Snickers wrapper, you're optimistic.
I might have a nut allergy, it's not worth the risk.
Biggest sign you're lonely?
I always say, Jimmy, you're never alone with a good offer.
I'm sorry we're asking this question, but yeah, biggest sign you're lonely. What?
I'm fine. There's a big difference between being alone and being lonely, all right? So sometimes I'm on my own, and I'm all right. I'm all right! So everyone would stop asking me and just come round and ask me.
Is the biggest sign you're lonely setting up multiple accounts on Match.com and then asking yourself out on a date? I know someone who did that.
John?
The biggest sign you're lonely is probably if you use, like, the voice recorder on your phone, and then you, like, modulate it to sound more like a woman, and then you're like, oh, you're really sexy, Bobby. That's probably a sign, maybe not the biggest one, but it's like one of three that you need to talk to people.
Yeah, you definitely need to talk to people, and they need to be trained professionals. Okay, biggest sign you're lonely. What do you think, Sean?
Well, I just think it's a tragic thing for anyone to experience, and I don't think we should be making jokes about it. If anybody had that reality in their life and they're watching this show now, I'd feel very sorry for them, because they'd feel like everyone was laughing at them and they're all alone, not able to enjoy a bit of company or something to take their mind off the loneliness that stalks their every waking moment and tolls like a bell in their head. When they think about the friendless, empty wasteland of their life. Yeah, but I know he watches it back on his own.
OK. What do you think?
Just sitting in the pub reading your own book quietly in the corner there, you know.
I'm going to give you a point for that, because the biggest sign that you're lonely is drinking alone. What was that, John? Did you hear that?
That was instantaneous, that reaction. One of the coolest things you can do.
Well, it sort of depends, doesn't it? There's a big difference between treating yourself to a glass of rosé on a sunny afternoon and sucking the alcoholic hand sanitizer out of a plastic dispenser in a hospital car park at 4 a.m. OK, best thing about a British holiday?
Is it the fact that you can take as much shampoo as you want with you? I go on holiday, when I go to Cromer, I'll take a big tub of shampoo, like that, big thing of it, and I'll open it up in the car. Nobody stops me. Nobody wrestles me to the ground. Put my hand in it. Oh, shampoo! Oh, look how dangerous I am. What are you going to do about it?
Since I moved here, for me, all of Britain is like a holiday, which is exciting. I live near this place, the Brixton McDonald's. I don't know if anyone's been there.
I think it's just called McDonald's in Brixton.
No. And it's great, because if I'm ever feeling like, oh, what am I doing with my life? I just go to the Brixton McDonald's at 4 in the morning, and then I'm like, I'm doing fine. I got a 50-pound fine there for putting out a cigarette out on the ground. And it's like, really? That's the thing you're focusing on here? Like, there's the team from The Wire dealing drugs all around me, and the guy's like, why didn't you just put it in the bin? There's a man in the bin! That's a holiday for me, because I don't have to be alone in my apartment. Or flat, as you would call it.
Yeah, flat. That's the one thing we didn't understand in that.
Another Bond movie?
Yeah.
Another one.
You don't sound excited.
Well, we've got Homeland now. We don't need Bond anymore.
You've got Homeland, we
Yeah.
don't need Bond?
Yeah. Homeland's way better than the Bond
What?
movies.
What are you saying?
I don't know. I went to see one. I went to see Casino Royale because they build it as it's nothing like a Bond film. It's totally different. And it was just another Bond film.
What was a Bond film?
Yeah, I know.
If your issue with a Bond film is it's just a Bond film.
These ones they go, it's darker and grittier. You're like, oh. It'd be darker if he had to get Ryanair flights everywhere. Sight of Bond kneeling beside the check-in desk, stuffing underwear in his pocket.
Judi Dench for the premiere had 007 in diamantes on her neck. And not a lot of people know she had a vajazzle. That's how you could hear her coming. She was sort of crunching down the road.
Well, thanks for putting that image in my head. In this one, he drinks Heineken, not martinis. That's the big sort of fuss has been made about the product placement.
There's one scene, though, where he has to punch a woman and he switches to Stella.
I've never understood product placement for adults. Like, in children's films, I can understand it, because children just go, oh, I want that on a lunchbox. But, like, are they implying that men are going to go to a pub and think, well, I don't usually drink Heineken, but if I have a pint now, everyone will think I'm James Bond. My tip for a film, if you're making a film and you get a theme tune, get someone to sing the theme tune who can pronounce some of the words that are in the theme tune.
What's your issue with the theme tune?
She cannot speak.
If it's Adele, lovely Adele, I won't have a word said against her.
Adele, or as I'm sure she says it, Adele. The first 3 times I heard it, I thought it was a song about scaffold. Scaffold.
I put forward a Bond theme and they didn't go for it.
Well, that's a shame. What was yours?
Bond on a bike, Bond on a boat. Bond with his hands around a villain's throat. Skyfall, Skyfall. Bond on a bike, Bond on a Skyfall, Skyfall. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey!
Is that the best dance routine, do you think, Louis?
Well, that's playing the piano.
I quite like that, and I would have put a head roll at the end. Let's try again. Bond on a bike, Bond on a bike, Bond on a bike, and round it. Right, then.
We're getting a new labelling system for food. It's basically saying, oh, poor people are stupid. They go into a supermarket and they pick up Haribo Tang Fastics and they think it's fruit. People know what shit food is. The reason they eat shit food is because they work all day in an office with people they hate. They're working in a job that they're told every day they're going to lose, and then they go back to a shitty flat that they can't afford to buy. And do you know what they think? I don't fancy couscous for tea. Do you know what I fancy? A mixing bowl full of Viennetta and chips that I eat with my fist.
What happened there, John? What happened there? It was quite a depressing thought, and then at the end, you pulled it back with Viennetta and chips, and everyone went, oh.
Shit food is the only joy some people get. And it's cheap as well. People don't shop. They don't buy bad food. They buy bad food because it's cheaper. They just go, oh, shitty pie, £1. Lovely. That'll make me feel temporarily less alone. And it doesn't make any... There's a reason they call it a traffic light system. It's because it's the same as traffic lights on the roads. If it's amber or red, you just do it faster and hope no one sees you.
It's confusing because the traffic light thing for me, I only think of them as like, you know, the traffic light parties where green means you're up for it. And I accidentally f***ed a chicken wrap.
I'm not familiar with the traffic light party. And what happens?
You wear a green shirt if you're up for it, amber if you're not sure, and red if you're definitely out.
I've always been an amber gambler.
Nice. So do you watch the calories? Do you watch what you eat?
No, I just exercise, so I don't get fat. But the thing is now when people go shopping, innit, you're going to be looking in their basket, and if they're full of red and they're fat, you are going to think you're greedy fat. And then if they're, you know, if they're sort of going in between, they've got a bit of amber and a bit of green, you're like, well, give them a go. Do you know what I mean? If they're all green, then you know they're gay or in PR.
You cannot imply that only gay people eat vegetables.
No, but we not green.
Have you seen that programme on Channel 4, The Food Hospital?
The food hospital.
People that are sick go there and they get cures with different diets and stuff, but it's really good for making you eat healthily or just not eat. Because it's on at like 8 o'clock. So the last couple of times we've been eating and it's on, and they're doing this fibre challenge and they keep showing you different pictures of poo, like while you're trying to eat.
So you're saying your dieting tip is look at pictures of poo
while
you're eating?
It puts you off your food.
I think you want to go with a guy who's got more than one channel on his television. You come round my house, we'll watch the football, we'll stick the Simpsons on, I got DVDs. I've got the whole works. If you don't like watching while you eat, well, I'm your man.
I got an iPad, and the slogan should be like a shit computer. Because my computer does everything better than it. So the only possible use for an iPad then would be as a very luxurious chopping board. And then maybe you could have a comedy playing to counteract the Onion crying. Everything would balance out. Either that, or maybe I'll get 6 of them and tile my hole with them. And then when I go to answer the front door, it'd be like Michael Jackson and Billie Jean.
Rachel, are you going to get one of these?
Well, I had this debate with my husband a little while ago, but I still don't see the point of that, because once you've got one size and the other size, then it doesn't do anything extra, does it? But I'd get his cast-off, so whenever he buys a new one, I get the old one, so I might encourage him to get one.
You get the old one once he's finished with it?
Yeah. I'm quite happy
You're
with that.
earning, aren't you? You can.
You know, do I need another one of a different size, or do I want to buy a pair of shoes? It's a bit of a no-brainer.
We're still talking about the iPad or your husband.
Still
if you need a smaller one, I'm willing to step in.
Louis, do you get dressed up on Halloween?
I have.
What was your finest hour?
I think my pussy. I've got...
A cat costume? Well, because of course you were
I was in Cat, so I have the original magical Mr. Mistopheles, so I slip him on and he's...
You didn't go dressed as a pussy because that's terrifying to you?
I was very surprised by it. It sort of seemed to appear suddenly about 10 years ago, this excitement about Halloween. I grew up, there was no even mention of it. You know,
it was just
basically
regular...
there were satanic rituals that we go to, and
well, satanic rituals and then
animals and the youngest boy child of the village. We wouldn't call it Halloween in those days. They were very much about our Lord Satan and thanking him for a year of evil. But suddenly, thank you, brethren. I'll see you at the next lodge meeting. I'll be wearing the golden hooves.
So how do you deal with trick-or-treaters, then? Do people come to your... Do they not come and knock on the door?
They do
get a
come and
cheery,
knock on the
lovely
door.
face?
Yeah, give them sweets, yeah. Give them sweets. The weird thing is, you have a bowl of sweets and some kids just go... And that's when you have to show them bad, Sean.
I like it now that, because you get cream eggs and then they start calling them scream eggs. That means it's time for Halloween. But there's no other ones you can do. I've written to all the chocolate companies. The only one I've come up with is Boost.
What have people been talking about over the last week? What do you think, Natalie?
The guy who did the nearly marathon for Skydive thing.
The guy who did the nearly marathon
Well,
thing,
it was 24
Skydive
miles,
thing.
wasn't it?
Well, it was,
so it's
yeah,
nearly a marathon, isn't it?
It was 23 miles up, though. That's not... I mean, traditionally how a marathon is run.
I know, but it's the same,
I
near
could
the
do a marathon
mileage.
like that. You just dropped me from 26 miles. I reckon I'll break the world record as well. Yeah, like that. Suck on that, Paula Radcliffe. I don't mean that. When I first see it, it's... Because there's so much Cockney on that side. Do you know what I nearly said then? When I seen he done it. And that's because
When I seen he done it?
When I seen he done a thing out of the scar, I was like, f***ing hell. When I
saw he done it.
When I saw what he done fell out of the sky and ting. Because initially, when you watch it, it's amazing. Once the footage of it, I thought, that's amazing. And then I thought, actually, you just ruined Alton Towers for yourself there, haven't you? All he's done for the rest of his life now. Do you go on Nemesis? No. Fell out of the sky, you dick.
When he fell out, I was really disappointed when he said, I'm coming home, or whatever it was. He said that I thought all Austrians spoke like Arnie. He's the only Austrian I've ever heard before. I was like, I'm coming home. Get ready, everybody, here I come!
Let's have a look at Felix in action.
What I don't understand is, why has he got handles on that thing? He's going to fall off it anyway. Why has he got, like, safety mode? Oh, careful, he's going to fall off. And to be honest, I wasn't impressed with the whole feat in any way. It's just falling. Any idiot can fall. I can fall any time you want. And he's got a special suit. If I had a special suit, I'd fall over pretty much all day long. I don't see what the impressive thing is.
Well, the impressive thing is he didn't die.
You know that suit was $200,000. You could try and get hold of the receipt for your next tax return.
I'd have to wear it on the show. Plenty more of that coming up. Beforehand on the news, they were saying if the suit fails, his blood is going to boil and his eyes will pop out of his head. And you're going, wow, this is going to be awesome. Yeah, it was fine.
Well, if you paid that much for a suit and it didn't work, my blood would boil as well. I was hoping that they got the calculations wrong, and then when he let go, they got the gravity calculation where he'd gone up and stuck to the moon.
You should have had a better suit on as well. It should have had, like, big flares and go faster stripes on it. It should have had just written on the back, F*** off.
Or a trampoline at the bottom. You could just bounce.
A trampoline, he could have broken the record twice if he'd had a trampoline.
Or when he jumps out of that thing, there's somebody in there and they push an anvil out after him. It's a race to the ground.
I went to a coffee shop, I have to say it wasn't Starbucks, but a while ago, and the two people behind the bar having a blazing row, and I was standing there for a few minutes, and eventually one of them turned to me and said, "What?" I said, "I'd like a cappuccino, please." And they gave it to me. I said, "Oh, do you mind putting a little bit more milk in there?" And she went, took it, turned around to the milk frothing machine. I could see in the shiny thing...
No, she didn't.
...dribbling into the drink. So she put it down. I said, "Did you just dribble into my drink?" She said, "No." I said, "I saw you in the shiny silver thing." And she said, "Well, what if I did?"
Where was this? Which shop was it?
It was actually at a motorway service station.
Oh, well, you're asking for it, aren't you? It wasn't a Wild Bean Cafe, was it?
No.
Because don't break my heart. That just Wild Bean Cafe, gourmet on the go. Wonderful. If I do get married, that's where we're having our reception.
They are one of the few places you can have a coffee and watch women getting their tits out.
Those are mothers breastfeeding, Nicholas.
In my one, where I am, there's like a thing there, and there's all bushes on it, and when the breastfeeding mothers come in, you can just peep through the bushes like that. It's almost like they're saying, "Oh, go on, enjoy your coffee."
Do you know that this is being recorded? Going out on television, it'll be seen forever, and you'll be known as Mickey Milk Boob. Here he comes, Mickey Milk.
And also, they do encourage crime because they put all the chocolate there, don't they? And then the woman turns round and looks the other way. As soon as I just say, "Oh, go on then."
I think, though, that it's different. You know, a huge corporation like this. I mean, what I would say is if you do go into a Starbucks, you know they do that thing, goes, would you like your name on the coffee? You know they do that thing now? Just say, "Yeah, I'd like my name. Could you put the name of taxpayer on the coffee, please?" And then they can go, "Coffee for taxpayer." Just do that. Just keep doing that.
Most people would rather host a house party than go to one. True or false?
I don't go to many house parties anymore. I go to a lot of fourth and fifth children's birthday parties these days. I don't have kids. I just prefer the food and games they play.
I like all the stuff about parties. I like doing a big shop and putting loads of nibbles out. And then this is true, I genuinely realise I haven't really invited anyone. Because I don't really like people in my house. It's that bit when you go to text people and you just think, oh, I don't like you. I don't mind you, but not in my house.
If I invite you, I'll have to invite him.
Yeah, and you'll bring your girlfriend and touch each other and talk about it. Come to my house and fiddle in my conservatory, not on my snacks. You want to be in love, you stay at home and cater for yourself. Bloody travelling chef for your sex games.
Don't put that on the invite, though.
I had a party a little while ago at home.
Did you?
It was my daughter's 2nd birthday. What it is with toddlers, your parents can't leave 2-year-olds, so you have to invite the whole
So everyone you
fucking
invited
family.
had like a +2?
Had a +2.
So they can't get there.
No, they can't get there. No, but when they're 5 or 6, they can be dropped
There's a
off.
£5 for the cab.
They can be
Got the
dropped
address.
off. Why do people nick remote controls at parties?
Hang on, I'll ask Mickey.
I bet he has.
Because you lose yours and you think it might work. Worth a go.
You think you might have lost it?
No, I've not lost it.
Do what I do if ever I drop a piece of hash. Turn all the lights off and you get down on the carpet with a torch and you just go across the carpet.
Mickey, they're going to take your kids away.
9 times out of 10, you'll pick it up. And the cheer that goes up when you find it is phenomenal.
How many people are there?
Sorry?
How many people are there?
Me, my mum, my nan. And this is all from 10, 12 years ago, you know, for insurance purposes. Okay. What is the latest you've ever left a party?
It was my birthday recently, and I was out until 4 a.m.
I left a party once at 10:30 in the morning. I went over the park and sat opposite a pub that I knew was going to open in about an hour. And then reached in my pocket and found a can of Stella. And ended up, still drunk, in this park, opening a can of Stella, waiting for the pub to open, like that. And a woman sat down and I went, all right. Your dog's quite nice, isn't he? And I realised I'd become a tramp in 24 hours.
Johnston, what else have people been talking about this week?
Lance Armstrong. Is that something that's... I feel like that's been popular over here as well.
We've been chatting about it a little bit. American sportsmen generally, yeah.
Yeah. You guys get American things here?
You get too many.
I'll be honest with you.
Treat. You can have that back. Can I get a coffee? No, you can't get a coffee. You can have a coffee. You can only get a coffee if you bloody work there. That's another American thing. The Easter Bunny. You've just opened a can of worms with me, mate.
Relax, I'll talk to Mr. America.
I'm sorry, all right, sorry.
I think it's Captain America. Give us the story. What happened with Lance Armstrong?
There's a big report just basically blaming him for not just being involved in doping, but sort of spearheading all the efforts for the entire team.
Yeah, he's ruined cheating for a lot of people. It was something I almost admired sometimes. You know, someone's a bit of a cheat. You go, it's quite clever to cheat, but he's just gone nuts. He cheated. He didn't just cheat in one Tour de France. Yeah, but he cheated 7 times. You think after you've done it once, you'd go, phew, I got away with that. Carried on. Just the sheer energy for the cheating. I don't know where he got that from. It's not just the steroids he cheated with. He had a testicle removed, so he was lighter as well.
A Brit just won the Tour de France for the first time, right? That was pretty exciting this past summer. Cavendish, right? Actually, English.
No, it's Bradley Wiggins.
It's not. What?
I think Bradley Wiggins wins.
That's what I said. What did you hear?
It's Mark Cavendish.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Usually, like, if someone gets caught doing drugs, it means whoever got silver got gold. But because so many cyclists are cheating, I got a call this week to say that I hired a bike when I was on holiday in Paris. And I gone down, so I actually won the 2003 Tour de France.
I bet
there is drugs in boxing, though. Surely you've got to take paracetamol after a fight. All those bashes on the head. Do you get a headache?
To be honest, it'd be a hard sport to cheat in. You could have all the energy in the world for boxing, but if you haven't got the technique and the skill to go with it, you know, you still can't win.
Right.
I think if you took enough heroin, you wouldn't be bothered about it. Nick, you're a professional sportsman or drug taker, one of the off.
I think it's amazing. I respect him even more now that I know that he was doing drugs for 7 years. I did drugs once and I couldn't leave my bedroom for a week. I barely had the energy to get up and piss in the Coke bottle in the corner of my room. And he's run it 7 times. I think that's amazing. Hats off to him.
He was the guy that pretty much invented the charity wristband. What people don't know is it was just a tourniquet that had sort of slipped down.
Let's have a look and see whether Lance Armstrong is one of the most talked about things in the last week. Yes, cyclist Lance Armstrong has been accused of taking performance-enhancing drugs. Suspicions were first raised when Lance Armstrong won the 2004 Tour de France on a chopper.
He's supposed to be there to talk about policies to solve problems.
They had one policy that was interesting. Their policy on burglars.
Yeah.
They basically said, if someone now breaks into your house, you can attack them.
See, I didn't get that, because on the one hand, they're saying, we really want Britain to be aspirational and we admire people who take risks and go out and get what they want. And then on the other hand, they're saying, shoot burglars.
My parents' house got broken into while I was in it, and...
By you?
No. I was in it. How could I break into it if I was in it, Jimmy? It's no logic.
Yeah.
Just think and then speak, for fuck's sake. Now, where was I? And I was upstairs and I heard some, like, real smashing around downstairs. And I came downstairs to see, and there was a masked man coming through the French windows. He was, like, halfway in, and the only thing I could think of to say was, "Excuse me!" And then he ran off. I turned really posh. Really posh when I'm getting burgled. I'm the gentleman crime fighter.
You certainly look like a gentleman.
What I do, if I have burglars, I've got a burglar's outfit by the bed. And I dress up in it. And I go downstairs and I go, "There's nothing up there." "Jack, let's get out of here. He's got a big dog, he's a bit nuts. Let's get out of here."
OK, let's get back to the Tory party conference.
I feel a bit sorry for politicians, because like, it is hard, isn't it? Like, and they're always evading questions. Like, but if they were honest and they said, like, "Well, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do?" Like, I don't know, mate. Right? No one's got any money. Right? Everyone's pissed off. They're asking me to sort it out. The wife's got the ump. Not seen the kids. I bought FIFA 2 weeks ago. Not even played it. That's why you can never have Homeland in this country, the programme in America about blowing up the government, because everyone would want him to blow them up. You know what I mean? Just one series. Oh, he's blown them up. New series. We'll leave it at that.
I hear Homeland's kind of big here, though.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty big, yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah, it's a great show. Massive
Yeah,
hit.
it's good. It's a shame they couldn't have found an American actor to play the lead, but...
Could you look sort of troubled, as if you've got a dilemma going on inside you all the time? Can you do that?
Go on,
Let me check.
No, you look as if you're thinking about pie. Most people think they could become an Olympic athlete if they trained every day for 4 years. True or false?
That's a great question.
Thanks. I've been working on it, I'm really thinking about it. When did you take up boxing?
I was 12, so that was a lot of years in the making. So I think 4 years of... it depends. It depends. If you've got a natural talent, then you might be able to pull it off.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. What do you think, Nick? Could you be an Olympic athlete?
4 years is loads, isn't it? 4 years is way too much to be training.
Well, you think you'd go over the Olympic standard and just give up? You go, well, this is crazy, I'm too good at this.
Then Jamaicans learned how to bobsled in under 90 minutes, didn't they? So...
What do you think, Sean? What sport would you go for if you were going to try and get into, you know...
Olympic sport, probably pole vault. That's the one I've got the most natural skill at. It's the one I just naturally find myself doing. Just if I'm in a park with some equipment, I just find myself doing that. That's the one.
It's your go-to.
I'll just sort of go, I'll be like chatting around, sort of loosening up a bit like that, and I'll just pick something up and just find myself running and go, whoa.
They just do that at school, pole vaulting.
To get in.
They...
bloody games, would they? Sorry, you had to do pole vault.
It was one of the things that we had to attempt to do. That and long jump and hurdles.
Why the giggle on hurdles?
Because I'm obviously at all of those things.
What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
Is it the X Factor?
There's a new TV show, Jimmy.
It's a brand new show.
They call it the X Factor.
Right.
And they get these singers, and I mean, it's too early to tell what's going to happen next.
Also, you use the word singers in inverted commas.
Yeah. I've stopped doing them, I just do it with my speech now. These singers, or professional crying penises. They're crying already. It's going to get worse.
It's not... They're not even crying when there's bad news. They're crying when there's good news. The guy, Ryland, have you seen this, Hannah? The guy, Ryland isn't a proper name as well. That's Ryan with it's Ryan with an L in it for no reason at all. But last week he cried because he got through.
He didn't sort of cry, though, because there were no tears. He just sort of went...
Sounds like me laughing. Let's take a look.
Ryland, it's such a big risk that I have to take it. And you're in my final
Me this, I don't want to. We could have a right old laugh. Right old laugh.
We've all been there. That is what I looked like watching Talisa's sex tape. I love that Ryland, he said to Nicole, he said, I'm not crying at you. And he literally... It was a very offensive burst of anguish. He was crying at her, on her, in her a little bit.
I wouldn't drink the water around the X Factor. I mean, they put something in the tea, and you can get the most hard-hearted person who'll drink the tea and just go... I just saw a pigeon.
If there is a drink that makes you cry, it's almost certain that Heston made it.
Yeah.
It's a special type of tea that brings melancholy.
And it's actually made with melons and collie dogs.
Of course it bloody is, yeah. Yeah, it's just...
Don't they just call that, like, red wine? Isn't that what you drink to cry? I drink red wine, I bawl my eyes out for no reason whatsoever.
What have you got to cry about? All your dreams have come true.
You don't know what my dreams are.
Your sock drawer's immaculate.
Cardi? You've got a cardi and people listen to you.
Yeah. Sometimes I cry because my dreams have come true.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like a new Ryland.
Did you cry when you were the best in the world at something?
No.
I would lose my
all.
Not at all.
Like...
Well, can I have it then?
Yeah. Just want
Cheers.
one. Don't two.
I didn't know that we were meant to bring our gold medals with us.
I like the fact you brought both of them.
Well, you see, just in case you want to lick the other one as well.
Do you lick these?
Oh, already licked your... I've already... And you've
Whoa, finish that sentence.
I've licked Hannah's gold medal. And Jimmy was there at the time.
It was the night that you won. You came on Channel 4 after you won the... was it the 100 and 200 the same day?
No, they were a week apart, but I think it was...
All right. Let's have a little look at Hannah in action.
And surely this is going to be just a question of how fast can she get close to the world record. She's being roared all the way. An amazing performance. Everybody is standing already. She's getting an ovation. The flashlights are going off. The only question is, what time will it be? Can she go close to the world record? Unbelievable performance. She held her nerve with aplomb, and once again, we are saluting a British champion.
Where'd we go? Where'd we go?
There's this company called Cash for Gold. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you can get an envelope big enough, I think you're set for life.
Back to the X Factor. What else? Has anyone been watching?
They went to the judges' houses last week. There was this situation where they found a couple having sex in one of the bushes at Gary's house. And they said, what had happened? They said, oh, we were just having a picnic and got carried away. That's not a thing. If I'm having a picnic and get carried away, I have a second scone. That's what I do. Never do you go to Pepperami. Well, I'll see you in the bushes.
They might have found a flask of X Factor tea. I saw a bit of it, and Gary Barlow says to one of the contestants, like, who's going to buy your records? And obviously the contestants too nervous to say, they just went... But what they should have said was the same idiots that buy yours. I think what's quite interesting about it is that surely by now the contestants must have sussed the show out. They all go, this is the most important, most special thing, most amazing, this is life-changing experience. You go, haven't you seen the show? Even if you win, by February, nobody knows who you are. Yeah, at best, X Factor is a gap year from Argos. It's going nowhere. It's not going to change your life.
The names of the groups, one of them is called Union J, because they used to be called Triple J, but someone joined the group whose name started with G. So they thought Union J would be the best way to go. That doesn't explain it. And it would be a better name if you just called it like JJGJ.
Let's have a look at JJGJ.
JJGJ. They might as well call them A Slightly Different Direction.
Let's have a look and see if X Factor is up there. Yes, the X Factor live finals have begun. X Factor is very different this year. Oh, no, hang on. No, it isn't. Talking about this week.
Is it the fact that Abu Qatada, like Peter Andre, won't be going back to Jordan? Which is the real tragedy, but that's the real tragedy. When will she find love? But on another matter, yes, we can't get rid of Abu Qatada.
We can't, yeah, it's terrible.
I think that Abu Qatada, he gets a lot of unfair press here in the country. Like, it's always described as the nightmare neighbour. How can that man be a nightmare neighbour? I mean, he's not allowed to leave the house. He's not allowed to have visitors. The police is always on the doorstep. He's an absolutely brilliant neighbour.
And also, if you've got a parcel coming, you can say, leave it at Abu.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to always be. Well, probably people won't do that for him, though. Yeah, I'll have one of Abu's parcels.
John, David, Rachel, what else have the nation been talking about over the last week?
We're getting a new labelling system for food. It's basically saying, oh, poor people are stupid. They go into a supermarket and they pick up Haribo Tang Fastics and they think it's fruit. People know what food is. The reason they eat food is because they work all day in an office with people they hate. They're working in a job that they're told every day they're going to lose, and then they go back to a flat that they can't afford to buy. And do you know what they think? I don't fancy couscous for tea. Do you know what I fancy? A mixing bowl full of Viennetta and chips that I eat with my fist.
Is it the Scottish independence? They've agreed to have a referendum on Scottish independence.
They have indeed. They've set a date.
They've set a date. Have they actually set the date?
They've set, well, 2014, yes.
Because they're going to let 16 and 17-year-olds vote in Scotland, so they've got to give them a year to sort out babysitters and things like that.
They've invented a lot of stuff. They invented the steam engine, the electric light bulb, the television, this expression. Before, when people felt like that, south of the border, they used to go...
The fist.
Then the Scots came along and went...
The Scottish are very... They've just canned a marketing campaign. This is how confident they are with Scotland. They had this gem lined up to advertise Edinburgh. Incredinburgh! And they shelved it. They thought, we don't need it. We don't need to go there. I say every town should be advertised like that. Well done, D. Glasgow, yourself.
That's more appropriate. Relax, everyone. Just whoa. Take a moment, everyone.
This is the killer.
Sean Lock, everyone.
Yabba Dabba Deen.
Johnson, what else have people been talking about this week?
Lance Armstrong. Is that something that's... I feel like that's been popular over here as well.
We've been chatting about it a little bit. American sportsmen generally, yeah.
Yeah. You guys get American things here?
You get too many.
I'll be honest with you.
Treat. You can have that back. Can I get a coffee? No, you can't get a coffee. You can have a coffee. You can only get a coffee if you bloody work there. The Easter Bunny. You've just opened a can of worms with me, man.
It's the US elections. The choice between two quite dull men who are terrible at talking. They had a debate this week, and they're just both terrible at actually talking. I really hard to listen to them go, we got to good-rate the economy because if it gets any more badified, we're going to be saturated until, like, 2000 and later than now, because...
It's called Mitt Romney. Which
yes.
It's not a... Yeah.
You've really cracked to the very heart of the US debate, haven't you?
Mitt is not a name. No one's called Mitt. I convinced my girlfriend that it was short for mitten.
Mitten Romney?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend?
Don't.
Catherine, have you been following the American election?
Oh, Barack Obama and Michelle, his wife, are like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of politics. They're very exciting. Like Barack Obama, he can sing and he's like cool. And you know, I experienced some climate change when I look at him, I'll be honest. Oh yeah, like when he talks about the national debt, my budget gap widens.
What do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
The I'm a celebrity thing, isn't it?
People I think I can't bear on it now is Ant and Dec, because they're like, it's gone on now, they just laugh. They're like Gaddafi's sons. Laugh at people being tortured. They just laugh, you're being tortured, you're being bitten, you have to eat this. Then they have more torture. There's a woman in a coffin having insects crawling all over her face, and they're just going, You can't tire of watching people going, It just doesn't get boring.
Yeah, but it's all the stuff in between where people sit down going, oh, I miss my family. I don't. They throw things.
I mean, you would be incredible on the show if you were ever do. Do they offer it to you?
Every year. And every year, I happen to be in a supermarket where I can buy stuff and I don't have to beg for it. You know know when you're doing your shopping, they go, would you like to do a celebrity, get me out of here? Or any of them, and you're going, yeah, but you see, I'm here and I've got 9 Twixes and I don't have to do a task.
Well, Lorraine, would you go on?
Absolutely no way. I like my personal space, do you know what I mean? I don't want all these people around me all the time, getting on my nerves, having to eat anuses and willies. It's just not my thing.
Well, it's a shame.
What's the most important thing? The Olympics.
Yes.
Perhaps the Olympics.
It's pretty huge.
It was a very successful Olympics, but for me, it was too successful.
Go on, no, tell me. Yeah.
I've got some theory now because Bradley Wiggins, he also won the Tour de France. Andy Murray's finally won something.
Oh.
You know, it's like we're too good at sport.
We've got nothing to moan about, yeah.
Well, it's just not, not comfortable with that level of success and sense of pride and celebration. It just doesn't... I don't like it.
It was quite surprising, wasn't it, when the old opening ceremony started, that it was actually quite good.
That opening procession at the Olympics, because they do it in alphabetical order, goes Iraq, Iran, Ireland, Israel. That is a tough gig for the Irish. No wonder they've developed a sense of humour in Ireland. That is a tough tunnel, that, isn't it? Yeah. Just calm down a minute and just just look straight ahead and not talk for 5 minutes.
Tomorrow, I don't know if you saw the... obviously, they did the relay with the torch before it all kicked off. And then they rang bells. Did you see this? They rang bells all around the country to sort of mark the start of it. And Jeremy Hunt kicked it off. Here he is.
Can we get a ring in the...
Yes, sure. Oh!
Terrible moment there. Health and safety, are you okay?
How many men can genuinely get to say they've said to a woman, could you pass me my bell end? It's just on the floor.
Did you watch the Olympics? Did you?
I watched some of it. I was away on holiday, so...
I think a lot of people did go away. A lot of people left London, got out of it, because it was... Like, beforehand, everyone was so negative. Everyone thought this was going to be a disaster, and then it turned out it was fine.
My wife's still crying.
About it?
From the Olympics. She's not stopped crying yet. I'm hoping it will stop at some point.
You think that's the Olympics?
It was the Olympics. It was the levels of emotion, yeah. Twice I had to fill her up with water. She's just dehydrated there, you know.
You know what I find, it has to be said, and I don't like saying it because everyone likes me, he's a really nice bloke, but the Mobot is shit, isn't it?
Really embarrassing.
It's rubbish. That, the Usain Bolt thing is brilliant. Super cool. That is just rubbish.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. This is Mo.
It's rubbish. It's like a crap someone who doesn't know how to do a teapot.
It looks like...
This is embarrassing.
It's
how
like
is
a
that?
willy, like those are the balls, and then he's the big shaft. You know, like balls, big balls.
Let's have a look and see if the Olympics is up there. Course, the most talked about thing. Yes, London hosted the Olympics in 2012. The Olympics may be over, but we'll never forget the volunteers and all the hard work they did for free. Not with the way they keep going on about it. And here's your related question. Most women are more attracted to a geek than a tough guy. True or false? What do you think, Catherine?
I think we want the same thing men want. It's like a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. I want, like, a systems
Sorry, what was that we
analyst.
want? A lady in the streets?
You don't even know what you want? Men.
Men want... No, I think you've just nailed exactly what I want. I'm going to write it down. A lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Yes.
I want the opposite.
Really?
I want someone that will go straight off to sleep and then be mental in the street. I want
men. You're right, because men sort of want a woman who can cook and clean and look after the children. That's it, really.
Read the question, it's tough, guy. And here's why I think, right? Because if you are nice all the time, then the lady will notice when you are not nice. So if you bring a lady flowers every day and then one day you forget, she'll be like, where's my friggin' flowers?
Yeah.
If you're an arsehole, then all you've got to do is not be an arsehole for a day. And she's like, oh, Steve's really trying. I don't think he's stolen from my purse this week.
Every now and then I forget to tape Downton Abbey for my wife, just to let her know who's in charge.
I think the most important thing a woman wants in a man, you know, is where he puts towels. That seems to be an obsession.
So you guys know about the towel thing?
But I don't understand it. I don't understand why that's a particular... Every single woman I know, every single relationship I know about, that's an issue. Why a towel can cause so much pain and misery.
It's a sign... Oh, now I've become the woman in this relationship.
What do you mean
It's
now?
not about the towel, Sean. What the towel represents. Do you know what it says to me, Sean? You've got out of the shower and you thought, yeah, I'll let John get that towel.
What are you doing in my bathroom?
Picking your towels up, that's what I'm doing, young man. But no, the towel is just it's a very visible, wet, stinking gesture that says, don't care where that goes.
John, I'm not talking about leaving towels. No, I'm at a totally different level. I'm there, they're not in the right place. You just hang them up somewhere, but like a door. Just hang it over a door, like that. Like a little flag, like a symbol.
I'm not...
Sean's in that room, probably. Well, he's been in there recently.
I've made it... It's worse, though, hanging it on a door, because that says, I understand the process of hanging this up. I just choose to put it somewhere it's going to piss you off.
Let's get back to tough guys versus geeks. Let's take a look at an example of a tough guy, an example of a geek. OK, so we've got there Jason Statham, tough guy, and Brian Cox, who's kind of the geek's geek.
Oh, gimme Cox, definitely.
Yeah, but say...
Let's get some answers on this. So most women are more attracted to a geek than a tough guy. True or false? What are you going to go for?
I don't know. You're a lady. You decide.
I think a good woman is attracted to a geek. I think most women are attracted to a tough guy.
So you're going false. You're saying most women are attracted to a tough guy. What are you going to go for, John?
No, I think young women are attracted to tough men, but the minute they grow up a little bit and realise the mortgage has got to be paid, and, you know, the kids have got to be walked and all that, they come round and they go...
got to be walked? You know, like their pets.
Tried sending him out on his own, and he stops at the end of the path. And I go, go on. And he goes, I'm only 6, and I go... and he goes... I would say that most women go for the geeky guy eventually.
I think you're right, Mickey. John, what do you think?
I don't care what you think, because I'm a tough guy. It's false.
OK, I can tell you the answer is false. 56% of women are more attracted to tough guys.
The fine should be, instead of financial, because most people on Twitter are just bored people who don't earn a lot of money, you should be, if you do a bad tweet, you lose characters. So, like speeding, but you can only do 135 now. And then if you're really bad, right, you can't use the letter E on Twitter.
Sally Bercow tweeted, why is Lord McAlpine trending? Innocent face.
Yeah, the good news about it all is that Sally Bercow has been forced to close her Twitter account, which is the only good thing. I would have had her close it ages ago for doing that stupid thing where you put an asterisk and then something you're doing, and then that really pisses me off. Definitely starting the diet today. Asterisk, goes for some cake. Asterisk, oh,
Hang on, Grandad looks upset. Sean, what?
Well, I just don't know how you can be annoyed by her Twitter. What are you reading them for in the first place?
To get annoyed. Yeah. What else am I going to do with my day?
I was over the moon when I found out I could sue people on Twitter. Things I get called. Yesterday, someone called me the most gormless man on the planet. That's got to be worth a tenner. He can't have checked with everyone.
I've only ever done one tweet. Did one tweet. And I've got 36,000 followers, which if you worked it out on a follower per tweet ratio, I'm the most successful person ever on Twitter.
What did you tweet?
I tweeted, due to a series of imposters, I have been forced to set up a Twitter account. Now go f*** yourselves.
I'd love it if you got into Twitter. Really, because there's times I think about you in the week, and I just think... I just don't know what you do. There's times I think...
What do I do?
I'd love to know what Sean's
squirrel.
doing.
Sit in a tree and spit at pigeons. So what do you think I do, John?
That's one of the things, I just have no idea. I can't imagine you eating food.
What do you mean?
Can't imagine you going for a run or watching TV. I just imagine you in a dark room, sort of softly lit, just your face, staring at yourself in a mirror. Growling.
I do stare at stuff, yeah.
28% of people think the government is hiding evidence of aliens.
You shouldn't even be saying that. For Christ's sake, Jimmy, that stuff should be kept under wraps.
Listen, the truth is out there.
Man, you can't put that out there and blow their minds.
Yeah.
They're not ready for it, Jimmy.
I can't believe you said it.
Well, for now, OK, remember, if I get assassinated... 28% of people think the government is hiding evidence of aliens. True or false? What do you think, John?
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 10 damn years. Ain't I been saying it?
Finally, an accent that goes with that shirt.
I think if anyone is throwing insults about clothes, it shouldn't be you tonight.
Why are you wearing that? Because I thought we weren't allowed to talk about it. Because, you know, sometimes when someone's a bit weird, you can talk about it. And then when something's so weird, everyone goes, is he all right?
God, wear a waistcoat. What's the matter with that? It's nice.
It just looks ridiculous.
Back to aliens. Do you believe in aliens, Bunley?
I don't, and anyone who does is a knobhead.
Do you know something I found out? That, you know, when you buy ham in the supermarket, in a packet, there's cameras in there. You look at the ham and go, oh, what's the sell-by date on that? There's somebody watching you in, like, a government office somewhere. They're all just shocked. They're all going, why isn't this on the news? Because they won't let it out there. So that's the kind of games they're playing with us.
Once you know that, the aliens thing doesn't seem so weird, then.
No.
Apparently we've got a sound problem. Hang on one sec. What's the sound problem?
Well, obviously, they're trying to shut us down, aren't they? No, you're not fucking taking me!
Whose mic is it? It's Sean's mic. You just sorting it?
Yeah. If this isn't proof of what I've been saying... yeah, let's shut Sean up.
Most people think their life would make a good musical. True or false?
Oh, I think most people's lives probably would make a good musical.
No, they wouldn't. Most people's lives are boring as shit, aren't
They're not, though. They're not. Maybe the individual, but families are always really interesting. There's always skeletons and scandals, and every family's got that, right?
Yeah, true. Favourite musical? Sean?
I don't really like musicals, to be honest.
Do you like anything?
I do. I like loads of things. I love rice. I like books. I like music.
What music do you like?
Well, all the good stuff.
What genre?
All the good genres.
Do you like rock music?
I like rock music, yes.
OK, well, I would like to invite you to come and see Jesus Christ Superstar next year.
Oh, thank you.
Worst thing about doing DIY?
The only tool I've got is a hammer. I do all the jobs with it.
All the jobs?
Yeah, if I'm sanding a window, with a hammer. So, you know, painting the skirting board, hammer.
Changing a fuse in the plug.
Hammer, yeah. My house is in ribbons.
Power tools really mean you can screw up big, fast. Like, with a little screwdriver, you're not really going to do much damage. You go, oh, but with, like, a power drill, you go... Wow, 30 seconds and I have ruined that whole wall.
Nail guns are fun. Sorry.
Have you done any DIY? Would you ever do any?
No, get a man in, that's my answer to that.
See, I find a bit of DIY quite therapeutic. I enjoy it.
What was the last bit of DIY
Home
you did?
improvement. I enjoy the aesthetics, you know, but
Do you mean
I enjoy...
buying cushions? Yeah. That's not DIY. That's buying cushions.
It's improving the home.
Yeah, I bought some cushions. Oh, exhausted.
I like it, personally. I don't see the problem.
What was the last thing you built? What was the last thing you...
It was a white unit from IKEA. And,
That's not do it yourself.
Yeah, but you drink your way, drink through it. That's the thing that I don't understand. Why isn't everybody drunk making things?
The worst thing about IKEA is you're not allowed to punch people in the back of the head. Why do they walk so slow? Get through!
I don't call it IKEA. I call it IKEA! And they say, can you keep it down? I say, look how big you've written it. You write it that big. That's how big I say it. IKEA!
OK, so a bad workman would blame this.
Tools.
What about them?
Lack of the right tools.
There you go, that's the right answer. What? She's getting the point. Yes, the worst thing about doing DIY is not having the right tools. If you're doing DIY, there's one tool you definitely don't need. Nick Knowles. I remember as a young lad my dad showing me how to use a hammer, but even then it seemed like a messy way to kill a guinea pig. John's team, what do you think people have been talking about over the last week?
Oh, thank God for that.
Do you think
I
the
get
pressure
so
was
nervous,
on?
I thought you were going to ask me first. I just get so nervous in that moment. I go, who's you going to ask first? And you ask John. Phew.
It's not Sean and the twins.
We don't look like twins. We look like finalists in a What's Mika going to look like in 20 years?
John's team, what do you think people have been talking about over the last week?
One of our MPs, Nadine Dorris, has decided the best way she can get ahead as a politician is to go into the jungle.
And eat kangaroo testicles.
She's decided to enter I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and not spotted that she's an MP, and it's not called I'm an MP, I should probably do some work. Since taxpayers pay me to do my work. So she's gone out there. I've already seen enough of her. It hasn't even started. I've already seen pictures of her sunbathing in the nude. And her breasts are actually a very good analogy for the coalition, because they appear to be a partnership, and yet they're putting as much distance between themselves.
Would you do it?
No way. I hate spiders. I hate moths.
Moths?
Moths.
It's just a black and white
off you now.
You hate moths. It's just a black and white butterfly.
I got home the other day, right, and I saw this massive moth, right, in my bathroom.
You saw a moth in your bathroom?
Yeah,
right?
I needed to have a shower, and I was too scared to go in. So what I did is I went in with this
You're
super...
too scared?
I went into the bathroom, right, with this super strong hairspray.
What?
Seriously.
And you did the moth's hair?
No. I sprayed this moth, shut the door, waited for a minute, saw it on the floor, sprayed it, and then literally crucified it like it was just stuck.
Poor moth is there. He's blind.
He ain't blind. Is he blind?
Yes. Now you feel bad, don't you? Basically, you've gone up to a blind person and just sprayed hairspray in their face.
Carol, would you ever go into the jungle? What would it take?
No, I won't go into the jungle.
Do you get offered it every year?
Yeah.
Every
Should
year
I tell
they
you how
call?
much they offered me this year?
Yeah, go on.
Wow. £250,000.
£250,000?
Really?
And you went, no, I'm not doing it, not worth it.
Can I go dressed
I'll go
as
tomorrow.
I think it was 250,000. I'm not very good with numbers.
25.
Was in the hundreds.
Even if it's 25, I'd eat the whole kangaroo. I'd start at its feet and just eat... I'd eat its fur, its face. I'd eat the whole kangaroo.
I'd let the kangaroo eat my balls. There's Starbucks, the coffee people. I've been a bit naughty.
What have they done?
The stalks. What have they done? What have they done? They've been at it, haven't they? They've not been paying tax. They don't pay any tax. They managed to sell. I know. Get your head round that. Just. But they've managed to make their books appear that they're losing money, and basically what they do is they take the losses from other countries and lump them onto the business here.
It's endemic. It's not just the company as well, it's some of the staff as well. Look.
When did you do that?
Earlier this year.
Just after a meeting with their accountant.
That's what I was thinking.
They are one of the few places you can have a coffee and watch women getting their tits out.
Those are mothers breastfeeding weekly.
In my one, where I am, there's like a thing there, and there's all bushes on it, and when the breastfeeding mothers come in, you can just peep through the bushes like that. It's almost like they're saying, oh, go on, enjoy your coffee.
Do you know that this is being recorded?
Sean, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Oh, the Tory party conference.
Oh, you love it.
I was marvelled at it was brilliant, wasn't it? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, the part when I came on.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see that, so I missed that bit. I don't really do any research. Sorry, what part were you on?
Yeah, just, you know, I came on and talked about my story in the games, and my family came on as well and talked about what it's like to raise a champion.
Right. Who did you meet?
Tessa Jowell and Jonathan Edwards. She's quite a nice person, actually.
Tessa Jowell's Labour, I think. Theresa May's Tory.
Theresa May.
I don't even know she
They made a big impression on you, anyway.
Are you sure you're at the Tory conference?
You know, it might have been the Labour.
Might be one. OK, Johnson, what else have the nation been talking about over the last year? It's not a séance, man. What have the nation been talking about over the last year?
It just really hurt my head.
Ever injured themselves on this show?
John, what have the nation been talking about over the last year?
Well, it can't all be fun, can it? The Levis and the... One of his comments was like a Yoda thing. He said, who should guard the Guardians? Not no one. Might as well have commissioned Yoda. Who should look after him? Not no one. Possibly someone then. Waste of money.
Or is he more like a Dalek? He goes, hang on.
I like the way we're getting to the heart of the issue here. Does he sound like this?
That's all right.
You might as well have come out on the steps and just said, instead of having to go at the press in any way, you should have just said, celebrities, royals, behave yourselves.
Yeah.
And that way, he'd have said, we won't even need to report on you. And none of this would have happened.
Sorry, it was going and it brought up something really weird.
Is this because you can't do this sort of stuff on British Bake Off? You can't, during the judging of a cake, you can't go...
It's incredible he still...
Mel's about to make a serious point.
There's no way.
Brace yourselves.
What I want to know is, though, it happened to so many people, this hacking business. How... It must be quite easy to do. So how do you hack someone's call? How do you do it? It's obviously quite easy. My dad used to hack into my calls back in the 1970s by lifting the receiver on the other phone in the house.
With his talons.
So I'd be... in the call.
Let him fly off with it.
Your dad's a griffin, yes? He's a griffin.
I'd be downstairs on the trim phone in the hall, and I'd be going...
Your dad would be on his perch.
And